So the jobs for this weekend, I say this weekend, but probably it will take us 4 weeks, is, oh, what a nice pen. Okay, we have been building this camper for almost 6 months. We are quite far, but there are still many little things, big things that need to happen, and also some finishing touches. I think for this weekend, I hope we can finish all of these points. And we're also going to share with you all the top things what we have learned in the last 6 months of building, because believe me, the knowledge we gained in the last 6 months of how not to do things is huge. We have many tips for you, so keep watching and you will learn a lot about your van build.
So at the moment, I'm making the base for our gas cylinder. So this is where the gas cylinder would be, and then we'll make a box around it. This, like all these plannings, we should have already done in the beginning where the gas would be and stuff, but we are not really sure. Sometimes we thought that we can just put the gas just like that. But then Mira was always saying, oh, we should put it in a box or our whole car will be on fire. Mira was really like, no, we need a box and we need a hole in the box. So we have to make a box and a hole in the camper for one more time.
Yes, you can't just drill holes anywhere in your camper. For our Renault Traffic, there are only a few specific places where you can safely drill a hole.
Oh, oké. Funny. Ja. Ja, door het hout heen.
Our tip, decide in the beginning of your build where you will cut the holes for your electrical socket, diesel heater, gas pump, and possibly your water tank.
So safety for me is really important, and I was just, I just had a little, how do you call it? Explosion, because nobody agrees with my safety measures. But I want to have a gas bun, and that means that your gas bottle is in an airtight box with a hole to the floor, because gas is heavier than air, so it goes down if it's leaking. And then, yeah, for that we have to drill a hole through the fan. We did, but it has to be bigger, and we have to build an airtight box.
This was definitely the scariest moment of our van build. The drill became extremely hot and smoke and flames started to appear. We weren't sure if the flames would spread between the layers of the floor, but there was definitely too much smoke. Luckily, we had a human fire extinguisher on hand. However, we highly recommend drilling these holes in a naked van without any flooring installed. You don't want your van to go up in flames after 6 months of building. But luckily, Mira's trick worked. I don't know if you can see, it's really tight here. It's not that tight here. It's really tight here. It's not that tight here. And that is because we didn't measure everything super accurate to the millimeters. We didn't measure it. All these furniture, everything what we built, in every piece of wood, there is some sort of difference. On the top, it might be 33.2. At the bottom, it might be 33.3. And because of that, every time when you were attaching the wood together, sometimes the things wouldn't attach, or sometimes they got attached to the wood, but now the wood is not straight because they made a little bend in the wood. And because of that bend, the sliders, it cannot go in our kitchen. So the thing what we learned is that if you have to measure a wood, really measure to the centimeters. If we got a wood from a hardware store, we would already have all the measurements that we want a plank with 33 into 50 centimeters. We want 3 planks like that. So we'll write down all the measurements of all the planks what we wanted. And then when we are buying the wood from the hardware store, we would already give them the measurements that, hey, can you cut this out? And they had these really advanced tools that would cut all the woods really accurate. But every time when we cut anything, it was a disaster. Speaking of wood cutting, you'll be surprised by the number of tools you need for building your van. Luckily, Mira's father has many of them, but you can't avoid investing in some yourself. We got a pocket hole drill kit, a rivet nut tool, a router, and plenty of brushes for painting.
And talking about painting, I think it's really important that all the wood was painted. It's good protection for the wood, and also it's just pretty. However, the downside of painting everything is that it takes a huge time. We are just building in a weekend. So that means if this weekend we start building a box, something with wood, then Next weekend I can paint it, then it has to dry, and then the other weekend we can install it. So it takes so much time. At one point we were so done with that I took everything to our house so that I can paint it throughout the week. Bit of a disaster. We don't have the biggest house, so yeah, we just don't have the space for it. But we managed. But really, yeah, put that in your planning. You know how much it takes. And there is paint that dries really quick. But for example, wood paint, wood oil, wood wax, that takes forever. It's like really 24 hours drying. You have to do 3-4 layers. So yeah, just calculate your time you need for that. We have been thinking of how to build this table for almost 10-20 hours.
If I'm just working like this is here.
Yeah.
But if we both has to work, then this opens.
You'll find many examples of van builds on the internet, but it can be challenging to find the perfect solution for your specific problem or idea. So be creative. Take our table for example. We needed a table large enough for both of us to work and small enough to fit under the seat. We designed our own. Who would have thought that the door latches could be used to support a folding table in a camper?
So another tip is stay focused, because there's so many distractions. Now I want to look at the little... Huh? It's already... Baby chickens are here. Ja. Oh, we gaan wel hierboven. Apel, hè? Tjoek, tjoek, tjoek. So we're building the camper at my parents' place and it's really cool. And near their house they have this really big vegetable garden. It's for all the people who are living here. And you can just plant your vegetables, really cool. So every weekend we take a look, see how the vegetables are going. It's not going good this year because there are a lot of snails eating all the plants. But they are little baby chickens.
And meanwhile Mira was on her chicken adventure, we were done with the table.
Yeah. So we made a little working table. And if I have to work, I can just work like here. And if me and Mira, we both have to work, we can do like this. Yeah. And now we have a big table. And the length of this table, this is 30, so 60 by 80 table. And we can move it around everywhere. If you want to make it outside like this, you can also bring it outside.
Often when building something, you might overlook a few important details. That's why it's crucial to get advice from your family and friends. They can provide a fresh perspective and point out things you may have missed. In our case, we received a great help from Mira's parents.
Another tip is that you should just start building. Don't overthink every step. If you didn't do something before, just try it out. Last week I have been sewing a curtain. It's not the prettiest curtain, but I sewed. I've never sewed anything in my life. It turns out it's not that difficult. Like, to make it pretty, that's difficult, but you can sew. Just try it. That's the whole point why you start building a fan, right? You want to learn new things, so just take on these challenges and make mistakes and do it again and learn. It's a bit of a weird day. Many things are happening. And we wanted to share so many tips. And one more tip. I'm not sure if it's a tip or advice or just a heads up.
A reality check.
A reality check, because be prepared that you have to buy a lot of stuff. Like, I just couldn't imagine this beforehand, that every week, throughout the week, we're not building, but throughout the week I'm just thinking about what to buy, and then next weekend, then we have it, you know, or we don't have it, and then we have to wait another weekend.
And now we are broke.
No, yeah, you slowly, you have to willing to pay some money for all this. But it's just incredible. And all the things you buy, I've never bought them before. So with everything, even the little screw, I have to do so much research about the best ones, the best deal, which website, and then you have to pay sending costs again. So you want to try to order as much as possible from that website. So part of the deal. And Temu became my best friend. I'm just ordering everything. I think like, oh, we might need this at one point, then I just order it, and otherwise I just send it back, because it's so cheap for really good quality until now.
I will show you what we are doing. Completely for decoration, but yeah.
Nee, dat is prima.
If you're wondering what I was doing, this is what I was doing. Do you think it's nice?
It's our art.
1 week later.
If you're wondering with what I was doing with all the fancy designs and patterns, I'll show you what I was doing actually.
So I was making something like this. Mira, of course, has beautifully painted everything, so it looks amazing. I'll show you how this works. So this piece of wood is attached here with the door of this box. And when it is handy is we can take this out and our power bank is sitting inside. So if it's too warm, then the exhaust from our power bank can just blow warm air from here. Or if you want to charge something without this door to be open, we can just charge everything, let the wires come out. And once we are done using it, we can just close this with, with these door stoppers. There's 2 here and 2 here. Now it's all set. And if you have to take out the power bank, you can just take it out. Now there's no power bank, so yeah.
One really big, huge tip I would say to you, and really do this at the beginning of your build. Think of all the big things you need in your van and order them. Really order them and build the whole construction around them. Because as you can see, like a fridge takes a lot of space. You cannot just think in the end, oh, where do I fit this? You won't, like, it will be a disaster. Or power bank, for example. Adi, come. This is the box for a power bank. And as you can see, it had to come really forward. So it was a bit tricky, like, can the couch still go? It was a lot of stress and thinking. But in the end, it all worked out because we ordered these things in the beginning. And we could build around it, really must. And this fridge is really cool. This comes in the front here. So this fridge will just kind of move around wherever we need it because it can run on its own for 24 hours. First, the plan was to put just any fridge under the couch, but there is no fridge existing that can fit under it and is still not taking all the space. The Hikes one is really flexible because, what I said before, it can run on its own. So we can just put it here or put it in the back when I need to cook.
What can be the big stuff, for example?
The gas stove, the power bank, we say boxio, but the washing thing, whatever you use to wash. Sink. Yeah, we have a really cool sink because we want to have just a normal sink, with the water thing and water jerry cans under it. But these jerry cans, they just couldn't fit in our van. We went crazy. I will show you now what the solution is. The handles are still missing. That's a bit sad.
We would put it later.
Yeah. Ta-da. So here's our sink. How amazing. Just like, I think this is really the most genius solution for any small camper. Because you can brush it, your stuff, and then you can just go. And there's a little 5-liter water tank. Enough for brushing your teeth.
And you can also clip it out.
Oh, you can also just take it out and put it anywhere, Put it outside, just in the back if you have a kitchen in the back as well. You can close it, and it's pretty and clean again. Look at my shoe rack. I'm so proud on this. I don't know if you see it, but this is a shoe rack. I've seen some videos about people also making something with these bungee cords. And they are always struggling with how to attach these bungee cords in the back, And I saw them just stapling it or just really ugly solutions. And then my father came with the idea to just put a tie rib here. And this tiny little tie rib, it works perfect. It works perfect, really. You can pull what you want. It does really not come through. And a nice color tie rib. It looks really cool, even from the back. And I will show you how it works in the van. Look, this, if you come in the van, then this is a bit of a wasted space. So I made this. This can go in between the rails here. Ta-da. And now I will show you with the shoes. You take your shoes, you do like this. Bam, shoe gone. Adi shoes. You do like this. Yeah, you have to struggle a little bit. No, maybe just do.
2 hours later.
You can store something there. We can also store your jacket there.
So you can go to Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, yeah. Oh my god, I get rich.
So what is the tip then?
The tip is use your creativity, try things out. I must be honest, now I finished this, I think, it was maybe not that smart to put dirty shoes under your bed. So maybe in the end we will use it for something else than our shoes, but just do it, That's how you find out if something isn't actually working. But I did learn a lot from it. Now I know the possibilities of jumpy cord. Is it jumpy cord?
Bungee cord.
Bungee cord. Yeah.
And the last tip what I would give you with building your own camper van is to learn something about electricity. If you have a little bit of knowledge about electrical appliances or how electricity works, how to connect the wires and the fuse and all that sort of stuff, that's already a huge plus point when building a camper. But if you don't know much about electricity, just like us, then I think investing in a good power bank is a good option. We were really lucky that Mira's father was there, so he put a electrical socket here, and that can help us charge or run our electrical appliances if we are at a camping place which also provides electricity. So we can just put the wire outside in the electrical socket, and then this electricity which is placed here, that has 4 electricity outlets, and we can charge anything through that. So yeah, it has been a huge learning curve, and now we just think of so many possibilities. And if we had to do it all over again, I think we would do it so much better and so much quicker, but that's part of learning anything. So yeah, we hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you want us to make any specific video related to the camper van build, please let us know in the description and we'll make it for you. So we'll see you in the next one.